In the grand tapestry of political discourse, the clash of ideologies often takes center stage, and in the realm of online commentary, Vaush, a formidable provocator, sets his sights on none other than the venerable Noam Chomsky.
Vaush, no, he said Putin should have done diplomacy with Europe instead of invading. Yeah, I know, I'm telling you that doesn't matter. The war has happened, he did invade, and now he's spouting pro-Russian propaganda. It doesn't matter, he can't, it's unfortunate, Putin made a mistake, but, and then he goes and lies continuously. Just like Hassan? Yeah, just like Hassan. Just like what he did. You can't call Chomsky a fascist, then say debating him is too mean. He said he's willing to talk to you about this. I know I can get Chomsky on the show if I want to. I don't know how much of a conversation I can have with him. I don't mean that with a, different opinions thing or whatever. It's that there's a reason why every conversation that we've seen him. Okay, let me put it this way, all right? From a pure optics perspective, do you think there's any way I can talk to somebody who talks like this and not come across like the bad guy aggressor when he says something so obviously dishonest like every other sentence?
In the history of Ukraine is nothing by
very what we have to say, because Trump is a loose cannon. You have no idea what his policy was. So one moment he says we have to work something out.
I'm almost positive that he would say something wrong and I would interrupt him, and then he would have a heart attack and die. I want the prestige of talking to Chomsky, and I know I can talk to him. I have connections. I know. I'm fully aware. It's not an unknown variable. And I could win in that debate on pure rhetoric because, again, I can talk much faster than he can. I can emphasize my words. He can't. He's too old. He's going to die if he tries to. But at the same time, if the only consequence of that conversation is just he says something really wrong, and then I respond with I would have to respond, okay, so he would say something NATO aggression, something, and I'd be okay, well, how can it really be NATO aggression? How can you reasonably say that the West should be expected to promise to Russia that they won't enter into a defensive treaty with a country that is reasonably at threat of being invaded by Russia, and then later was? And then he would respond, but his response to that would have to be 5 minutes, and then what, do I chart it all down? I don't know. The idea of debating somebody who's it's kind of like debating somebody who's got an incredibly thick accent or doesn't speak English very well. I feel like the hill that I would have to climb to get to that would severely hamper the quality of the conversation in a lot of ways. Yeah, I don't want it to come across as I'm just yelling at an old man, which I would be. Make it more of an investigative interview, the debate. No, I don't want to, that's what I'm saying I don't want. An investigative interview would be, I ask him a question and he responds with 5 things that are wrong. And I'm okay. And then I ask him, because Chomsky's not stupid. It's not I'm going to stump him on an easy probing question. He's going to go well, you're right. He'll talk his way through anything that I ask him. But I don't think I could ever be incisive or get him on anything because it would just look like me bullying an ancient dude. Take a look at all of the convos he's had for years now. They're all interview style where he goes on for minutes and minutes. I don't know how much back and forth there could be. Sorry guys, I've given it a lot of thought. This is not an errant perspective on my part. I'm not just off the cuff saying this. I am genuinely worried that it would be an optically insurmountable conversation. I feel like that's just something that should be left to other people. Could you have him on to talk about something you agree on? I would never want to talk with him about, I would never want to have that piece of shit on for a little play date where we get to agree on the principles of socialism or something. Fuck him. Him being old doesn't free him of responsibility for his action.
The incisive critique unfurls as Vaush takes aim at Chomsky's stance on Ukraine, weaving a narrative of diplomatic divergence and ideological discord. Vaush, with his characteristic flair for controversy, lambasts Chomsky for what he perceives as an endorsement of Russia's actions in Ukraine. The accusation of Chomsky spreading Russian propaganda echoes through the digital corridors, creating ripples of dissent. This clash of titans, Vaush and Chomsky, underscores the inherent tension within progressive circles, revealing fault lines in the seemingly united front against global injustices. The crux of Vaush's criticism lies in his assertion that Chomsky should have championed diplomacy with Europe rather than seemingly siding with Russia. The intricacies of international relations become a battleground, and Vaush, armed with his rhetorical arsenal, contends that Chomsky's position undermines the pursuit of a diplomatic resolution. The dissection of Chomsky's stance becomes a nuanced dance, where the complexities of geopolitical chess moves are laid bare for scrutiny. Yet, amidst the intellectual jousting, Vaush grapples with a dilemma not of ideas but of optics. The prospect of engaging Chomsky in a debate, while tantalizing, poses a challenge. Vaush, cognizant of the optics, expresses reservations about potentially appearing aggressive or bullying an elderly intellectual statesman. The nuanced dance between ideological opposition and the ethical considerations of discourse paints a vivid picture of the high-stakes world of online debates. Vaush's self-awareness shines through as he contemplates the nature of the hypothetical conversation with Chomsky. The fear of a one-sided, investigative interview looms large, a specter haunting the possibility of genuine back-and-forth engagement. The optics, in Vaush's view, become a formidable adversary, potentially overshadowing the substance of the debate. This introspective pause adds layers to the narrative, revealing the intricate dance between intellectual combat and the performative aspects of online discourse. In the realm of optics, Vaush grapples with the notion of challenging Chomsky effectively. The concern about the conversation becoming an insurmountable spectacle underscores the delicate balance between ideological clash and the performative nature of online dialogues. The virtual arena, with its nuanced rules and pitfalls, becomes a battleground not just for ideas but for the optics that shape public perception. The ultimate concession, however, is Vaush's decision to leave discussions with Chomsky to others. The disdain for a friendly conversation on areas of agreement becomes a parting shot, highlighting the irreconcilable differences that, in Vaush's eyes, preclude any semblance of congenial discourse. This closing note accentuates the unyielding nature of ideological divides, where the prospect of finding common ground is dismissed with a rhetorical flourish. In the grand opera of online discourse, Vaush's critique of Chomsky becomes a symphony of contention, where the clash of ideas reverberates through the digital ether. The complexity of geopolitical positions, the dance of optics, and the nuanced considerations of engaging with intellectual giants all converge in this narrative. The stage is set, the actors are in their places, and the rhetorical drama unfolds, leaving the audience to ponder the intricate dynamics of ideological discord in the digital age.